materialism, the belief that having money and possessions is the most important thing in life. Even though most of us deep down don't believe this to be true, many times our actions are guided by old habits or subconscious beliefs, sometimes without us even realizing it until it's too late. That's why it's very important to set systems and create practical ways to help you make better decisions and stay on track. Here are 7 things I personally do to avoid the materialism trap. Aim for connection, not amount. We form emotional bonds with our things. I actually didn't realize this before, but recently I have started to think about it. That it's not just about the look or the feel, it's really about the connection why I want to keep a certain item. So what I suggest you to do is to reflect on the items that you have at home and identify those that give you this feeling, that are somehow really special. And then try to think why. Why do they feel so good? Why they give you this emotional reaction? And why I believe this to be important is because when you identify this, you have the awareness of it, and then you set the standard that you will only get items and keep items if they give you this level of connection or feeling. It becomes so much easier to avoid the materialism trap because your bar is so high. I think this is the way you buy things that are kind of reflection of yourself, that the things that you own are your statement pieces. They say and tell the story who you are. And that's why it's so important to focus on the connection and not just the amount of things that you own. The second thing is I spend time in nature, like exactly right now. Every time I come here or whatever forest, whatever outdoor place, I feel this big connection to the world and the natural world especially. You feel like you are part of something much, much bigger and you feel one with everything. Of course, we have those items that make us feel good and it's important, I think, to have those. But when you come here and you are really present and experience the human or natural experience, you start to get it. That when people say that happiness cannot be bought and happiness doesn't come from things, that is actually true. Of course, you can have these moments basically anywhere, but nature is just a place where it's so much easier to connect and go to a little bit different level of consciousness. And if you have been following my channel for a while, you know that I talk a lot about running as well, or mention it at least in my videos many times. And you could think that it's completely different thing when it comes to minimalism or simplifying my life, but actually it is very much connected to this, because if I wouldn't have these runs, if I wouldn't experience the nature like this almost every single day, I think the chance of me being a materialistic person or making at least not so good decisions would be so much higher. Here's a completely off-topic question. I found one of these in the forest here. Do you know what it is for? When do people use this? Let me know your guesses or correct answers in the comments. Number 3, limit social media exposure. I deleted Instagram and Facebook multiple years ago, both of them, because even though I had used them for so many years and spent every day time on those platforms, I started to feel like they don't bring me much value anymore. Every few months I log into these apps and see what my friends and some old family members are doing, but I have realized, and every time I log in, I get reminded how the negatives very much outweigh the positives on these two platforms. I don't use TikTok either, so for me it has always been about YouTube. This is the only platform that I use. And I know that it has its own pitfalls as well, but I find it so much easier to manage just one social media platform than trying to juggle 6 of them at the same time. And I believe that, or at least my experience is that the YouTube platform, the algorithm, is very good at suggesting content to you that you want to watch, that is actually helpful for you, that will give you good advice and will inspire you in your own journey. And one very important part why I have decided to use only YouTube is that here I don't have a personal connection with the creators. I don't know them personally, and therefore I don't have this connection or emotional connection when they show something to me. But if I'm using Instagram and I see some old high school or middle school friend just flexing with their LA holidays and new cars and careers and all that, of course I start to have some emotional response to that. And I don't know if it's about envy or not. Could be. I'm very satisfied with my own life, but there's this little whisper that wouldn't it be so nice to have that or experience that as well. So that's why I believe that it's so much better to just stay away from it completely if you want to avoid materialism. The fourth one is that I set meaningful goals. I think if you are bored or lost in life, you don't have any vision, any goals in your life, anything that you are working toward, I think it's so much easier to fall into the trap of materialism because you are searching for that happiness and fulfillment elsewhere. So what I do is I set yearly goals and monthly goals. And these are not just any goals, they are deeply rooted in my personal values. Every time I am creating these goals, I try to think values over achievements. So it's more important to stay aligned with who you are rather than try to go for these big achievements in your life. And therefore these goals don't have anything to do with buying stuff or needing to show something to somebody, because consumerism and materialism aren't things that I find important. And by constantly setting these goals and working on these goals, I have to say I don't have even time to think about materialism or things I should buy or what's the latest trend, because I'm so focused on working on these goals that are aligned with my values. Number 5, daily gratitude and thought experiments. For me, this is about having these moments daily where it's not about working for a better future, but it's about stopping and realizing how happy and successful you are already right now. Because I believe that if you can spot these small daily joys and feel the gratitude and happiness, you are already successful. You made it. And these can be very simple things like waking up in the morning and going for a walk, having a steady job, or people that you love in your life. And sometimes I do these thought experiments that are a little bit weird, completely hypothetical, but I think that if somebody came to me and offered some money that I cannot see a certain friend, for example, ever again, what would that amount be? And when I think of it, of course the price is incredibly high or even priceless. And in those moments, I realized that, okay, I'm actually super wealthy already in my life. I don't need these materialistic things in order to be happy, because I know that I wouldn't trade a friend even for $1 million. The relationship that I have is much more important. Little bit weird thought experiments maybe, but they really help a lot in this. And then to also feel this daily gratitude, I use this app called Aura Health that really helps you to rewire your mind for positivity, gratitude, and peace. They have a lot of these tracks and meditation sessions. It's really amazing. It has been a game changer for me. I highly recommend to test it using their free trial. I will leave a link in the description and see if it will resonate with you as well. If you do this, you'll be also helping the channel, so thank you very much. The next thing I do or have is accountability. I haven't talked about this a lot on this channel, maybe even never, but creating these videos and chatting with you in the comment section really reminds me every day what is important to me. I think accountability is the key, and being a content creator on this platform and sharing this message every week is something that has really kept me on the right track. Without making these videos, I probably wouldn't be so focused on this journey and so successful in this, what I'm doing right now. I think I would be a lot lazier to live aligned with my values, because there wouldn't just be that constant reminder. And I don't think that this is just about materialism or minimalism. I think this goes with anything. When you surround yourself with people that are like-minded, you're way more likely to actually achieve those things. Or if you're a language tutor, let's say in school, of course you want to improve your own language skills in that language all the time so that you can help others better. So I'm in very much the same situation, but with avoiding materialism, creating more minimalist and simple life overall. So while I know that this is not maybe something practical for you and you don't want to do this, it's something that it has helped me so much in my journey, and that's why I wanted to add it in this list. But this next one is something that you definitely can do and actually are doing right now, and that is to consume content to stay motivated and inspired. So before I talked about the social media and how I'm not using it anymore, I think that it's not just about cutting back always and removing every social media platform. I think it's about choosing what you consume wisely, whether it's watching videos, subscribing to newsletters, reading books, or listening to podcasts. I think regularly consuming content about the lifestyle that you aspire to have really keeps you inspired and motivated to actually do that. Even if you are not all the time learning new things and new tips and new hacks, you are reminded that you are on the right path, and the things that you are doing, the habits that you have, are the things that you exactly should be having and should be doing. I have personally noticed that when I stop consuming content about the certain thing that I aspire to have, my motivation and inspiration goes down, and therefore my input to do that goes down as well. But when I do consume content about that, or for example read books, my motivation just skyrockets. For example, right now I'm reading a book from Marie Kondo, and I just have this huge inspiration to reorganize and tidy up some areas of my home. And even though I am a content creator, I'm still a consumer. I consume a lot of YouTube content videos because I want to learn new things and get those fresh perspectives and stay inspired. If you want to consume content that will help you to reduce the noise and feel more peaceful, check out Aura. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one.